God, my friends? Hey, Waylon, the king of the brackets, came up with this track by track he donated for me to do, and that is Dokken's Beast in the East versus AC/DC Live. Alright, I own both of these, and actually, I do not own AC/DC Live. What I meant to say was, I own Beast in the East, but I don't own, and I've never heard AC/DC Live, believe it or not. I'm a big fan, but that was an era of AC/DC where I was kind of like, you know, because I still think Razor's Edge is their worst album. I hated that album. And then when they released the live album, I mean, I saw bits and pieces of it on MTV and stuff. Like, I think they had a video for Highway to Hell from it, Dirty Deeds or some other shit. And I was like, But I listened to it today. Now, I listened to Beast in the East as well. And today, as well today. Man, what a great album. That's a really good live album. In my opinion, I don't like a lot of 80s live albums. I just don't. And it's only like maybe I can count them all in one hand if my hand had no fingers. My point is that this is a great live album. But, yeah, and by the way, a little shout out to my friend Eddie Canistracci. Or Edwin Canistracci. I don't know which one he calls his YouTube channel, but I highly recommend you check out his channel because he's got great rankings and, you know, things he talks about. Just really cool. He even has a really cool show on Jaws that you got to see. But anyway, I had Beast in the East on vinyl, right? And all of a sudden it went missing. I couldn't find it anywhere. And the next thing I know, I see Edwin Canistracci showing his Dokken Beast from the East, and I'm thinking to myself, I think that's my copy. You see, Edwin lives about 5 hours north of me. Yeah, I think he came down here one day just for that album. Yep, true story. Edwin stole it from me. It's a running joke. Anyway, it's not that funny, is it? But yet I keep talking about it. An unfunny joke. Anyway, I did end up getting Beast in the East again on vinyl because the CD doesn't have Standing in the Shadows. I think it's missing something else. Better to have the vinyl. All right, hey, enough yapping. Let's get into this. Because there's a lot of songs on here. They're double albums. All right. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this, Waylon, but the AC/DC has 2 more songs, you know, than this. Anyway, all right. Shut up, Ralph, and get to the tracks. Here we go. We start with Unchain the Night. I love that song versus Thunderstruck. I hate that song. I mean, hate that song. Texas! Yeah, Texas! Oh! It's one of the biggest hits. I mean, AC/DC wasn't doing shit after For Those About to Rock. I Worship, Flick of the Switch, great album, no hits. Flying Wall, no hits. Blow Up Your Video, no hits. You know, Who Made Who, like a minor hit, but it wasn't really a record. This song, Thunderstruck, was huge. It's one of the biggest AC/DC songs. Let me put it this way. AC/DC doesn't play anything after Thunderstruck until like their new album. Oh yeah, they throw in Rock and Roll Train. Either way, hey, I'm talking too much on this episode, right? I apologize. I'm giving that to Unchain the Night. All right, next. Tooth and Nail versus Shoot That Thrill. Now, I love Shoot the Thrill. It's an awesome tune. The live version wasn't as good as the studio, I gotta be honest. Tooth and Nail rips, and it wins. I'm giving that to Dokken. Again. Alright, next. Standing in the Shadows. That's not on the vinyl version, which is weird. Love that song. Going against Back in Black, I'm going with Dokken. And I think Back in Black is a better tune. But we're judging by these live performances. I'm giving it to Dokken. All right, next. Sleepless Nights versus Who Made Who. Honestly, both are like whatever. I'm giving that one to AC/DC though. I do kind of like the live version of it. I think I even like it more than the studio version. I did. I was listening, I'm going, but you know what? I should have went back and listened to the studio version to make sure it was better. But while listening to that one time, I was like, yeah, this sounds better than the studio version. All right, I give that to AC/DC. Next. Dream Warrior versus Heatseeker. I like Heatseeker on this live album. Sounds awesome. Definitely giving it to Heatseeker. I've never been a fan of Dream Warrior. Seriously. I think they should have had the song Freddy Krueger from the SOD album on fucking Nightmare on Elm Street instead of that Dokken song. That Dokken song is kind of scary though. Scary bad. In my opinion, I know a lot of you people out there love that song. I don't. I do love Heatseeker. It wins. Next. When Heaven Comes Down versus a Jack. I gotta give it to When Heaven Comes Down. It just doesn't sound right with Brian singing it. It doesn't have that thick, oozing charisma that Bon Scott brought that song, man. I mean, nobody can do that song but Bon Scott, so I can't blame Brian, you know? But come on, no way, man. No, sorry, Dokken gets that. When Heaven Comes Down kicks ass on the album. Next, Into the Fire versus Money Talks. Into the Fire easily because, man, I think I hate Money Talks even more than Thunderstruck. Oh my God, I hate that song. And by the way, I saw the tour and they threw down money during the song, and I got one of those Angus dollar bills. And you know where I placed it? I placed it in the CD. You know, I took the little plastic off, put it in the back, and put the plastic back in, you know? So it's nice and, you know, flat back there. I'm talking a lot on this episode, ain't I? Into the Fire totally wins. Next, Mr. Scary versus Hell's Bells. Going Hell's Bells. I think it's a good version. Mr. Scary, I feel is a little overrated. I feel George Lynch is way better than he is on Mr. Scary. I'm sorry, I don't hear it, man. Even the live version, I'm like, George Lynch is so much better than that. I'm not saying it's bad in any way, but it's not, to me, it doesn't speak to me. It's not as inventive as he is on guitar solos like Tooth and Nail and, you know, Don't Close Your Eyes, you know, the stuff he does on that. To me, it's more George Lynch, you know? Yeah, man, I'm going with Hell's Bells. Next, Heaven Sent versus Dirty Deeds. Definitely Heaven Sent. No diss on Brian. Hey, Brian, to me, is the best replacement for Bon. You know, a lot of people, oh, Mark Starachi, or get somebody who sounds like Bon. What the fuck is wrong with you people, man? There's only one Bon. Don't get somebody that sounds like Bon. You know, and Brian doesn't sound like Bon. Brian's got its own style, but it doesn't translate with the Bon songs to me. But I will say, I can deal with it better with Brian singing Bon Scott songs than Bruce Dickinson singing Paul Di'Anno songs. I hate it. And Ronnie James Dio singing Black Ozzy songs. I don't like it at all. To me, it proves the point that you could be 100 times technically better a singer and still not be as good as somebody that's not as good as you, not technically, you know, proficient. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking a lot on this episode, ain't I? Heaven Sent. I love that song and it wins. All right. It's Not Love versus Whole Lotta Rosie. Again, what I was saying, but you know, I do like Brian singing it, but it's just not the same. I'm going it. It's Not Love. Let's say Whole Lotta Rosie went against Sleepless Nights. I'd give it to Whole Lotta Rosie. You know what I'm saying? But It's Not Love. It's a badass tune. It wins. Next, Alone Again versus Shook Me All Night Long. You know what? I'm going with Alone again. There's something about the vibe. I don't know if it's studio magic. It probably is because I don't really like live albums that don't have studio magic. But I love it. I love the version, and I don't think Shook Me All Night Long is a good version on here. It sounds a little tiring. All right, next. Just Got Lucky versus Highway to Hell. Just Got Lucky. Just rewind what I said about Brian and Bond. That's why I go with Just Got Lucky. Next, Breaking the Chains versus TNT. I'm saying the same shit again, man. I'm going with Breaking the Chains, man. TNT, not bad, but I think the Dokken live version is better. All right, now, it's not really the last one, but it's the last one of the AC/DC album, so we can't judge Turn On the Action and Walk Away. So it's In My Dreams versus For Those About to Rock. I'm going with For Those About to Rock. It is a great bombastic ending to the album. And I don't like In My Dreams. I love the guitar solo on In My Dreams. I think it's fucking amazing. But I'm not really a big fan of that song. I'm more of a fan of For Those About to Rock in recent years than I've ever been. Honestly, when For Those About to Rock first came out, I didn't really care for the song that much. I was more into Inject the Venom and, Put the Finger on You, Evil Walks. I was more into those songs than, For Those About to Rock. But now in recent years, man, that may be my favorite song off that album now. It's grown on me like a fungus. It took me forever to catch on. Most of you got it right from the start. Not me, because I'm kind of retarded. So, that's it, right? Yeah, I'm giving that For Those About to Rock. So, Waylon, there's a final score. There you go, man. This was an extra long track-by-track album battle. Apologize to anybody if I rambled too much. I really do apologize. But thank you, Waylon. You rule, my friend. And everybody out there watching now, y'all rule as well, man. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and ring that little notification bell. And leave me comments below about Beast in the East from Dokken versus AC/DC Live. Right on, everybody. Oh, and like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack 'em a gob.